Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Graveside service for Judith Faye Howard, age 74, is Sunday at 2 o'clock from Green Hill Gardens in Childersburg with Minister Richard Rogers officiating. Celebration of Life will be held at Homewood Church of Christ tomorrow at 2 p.m. Saturday. Visitation will be held at Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel on Saturday evening from 5 until 8 p.m. The family will accept flowers or contributions in Judith's memory may be made to the Meemaw Quilts, Homewood Church of Christ, 265 West Oxmoor Road, Birmingham, 35209. Online condolences to the Howard family at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Amy Giles Rogers will be 11 a.m. Saturday morning. That will be held at First Baptist Church in Sylacauga. And the officiant will be former Sylacauga Pastor Pugh, pastor at First Baptist Church in Sylacauga, Pastor Keith Pugh. He will be here to officiate that service for Amy Giles Rogers, burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. That funeral service at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at First Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Also in obituary news this morning, Michael Cato. Visitation for Michael will be today over in Childersburg, and that will take place at the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Mr. Cato lived in Harpersville and passed away at the age of 66 on December 12th. Visitation is today, 12 until 2, with a service at 2 o'clock, all at the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Marshall Smoot will officiate the service. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Jacqueline Harper, age 78, of Ozark, died Wednesday. A private family graveside service will be held at Marble City Cemetery with Tyler Groves officiating. Online condolences at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Gary James Epperson, age 69, of Sylacauga, died Wednesday. Visitation for Gary will be held Sunday from 1 until 2 o'clock at Curtis and Son North. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Online condolences at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Celebration of Life for Edna Joyce Pye Garrett Russell, age 69, is Saturday at 1 p.m. from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga with the Reverend Johnny Ray Hunt officiating. Visitation is today 1 until 7 at the funeral home, Community Funeral Home, directing. Homegoing celebration remembering the life of Mrs. Connie Sue Wallace McKinney, age 76, of Talladega, is Saturday at 3 o'clock from S.M. Goodson Funeral Home Chapel with presiding Apostle Chris Ruffin officiating. Interment in the Oak Hill Cemetery. Public viewing today, 2 till 7 at the funeral home. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home, Crematory, Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Mary Lois Meadows, age 75, is 1 o'clock on Saturday at Mount Cleveland MBC Church. The station is today at the funeral home, 1 until 7. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Celebration remembering the life of Mrs. Eulia Yogi Burl Sistrunk, age 61, of Munford, is Saturday at 1 o'clock from Shady Grove Missionary Baptist Church with Pastor Clarence Henderson officiating. Interment in the Jennifer Cemetery. Public viewing today at the funeral home, 2 until 7. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home, directing. And Cecil Dewey Bubba Green Jr., age 51, died December 8th. The family receiving friends today, 10:30 to 11:30 at Talladega Funeral Home. And then a graveside service will follow at noon from Pine Hill Memorial Park with the Reverend George Bishop officiating. Talladega Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning brought to you courtesy of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need funerals, burials, or cremations since 1975, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childers.